Good afternoon and welcome to Brit Bowl Series 32. This afternoon you'll be joining myself, George Lees and James Ramsey ahead of what should be a fantastic game of football we've got this afternoon. How are you feeling, James?
I'm feeling good. It's a nice day for it. Not too warm, not too cold, and the sun's out, so it'll be a brilliantly viewed game.
Obviously, we are looking at playing the Manchester Titans, playing the London Blitz. London Blitz looking to retain their national title from a year ago in what was an absolute shootout contest versus the East Kilbride Pirates. We can just hear behind us now Manchester Titans heading into the changing rooms. Manchester Titans, for them, it's their first time here at a Brit Bowl final, so it should be a thrilling game for them.
Well, I'm thinking so. I was looking at them while they were training beforehand, and they look like a professional adult team, not just under-19s. They look very, very impressive.
Both outfits phenomenal in what they've done. Manchester come in today 5-0. Some debacle, it may be 5-1, but 5-0 is what we've been told by the Titans. East Kilbride were their second in their division after Manchester beat them in what was a fantastic semi-final game. It finished 28-28 at the end of regular time with a penalty shootout is the only way I can describe the decider, with the ball being placed on the 25-yard line and each team getting a chance to score from 25 yards out, with East Kilbride heading up first. They got all the way to the goal line before Manchester had four goal line stops and a turnover, giving Manchester the chance to take it at the 25-yard line for them to punch it in very quickly. Only a couple plays, they managed to take a few chunks out. The London Blitz, however, had 6-0 all the way through, dominant. They had a very close game with the Hertfordshire Cheetahs in the first game, with them playing in their semi-final and winning, quite frankly, a very dominant win, 44-2 over those Cheetahs at the very end of that season. So, what are your thoughts heading into this?
Well, I watched the highlights from the Manchester game yesterday, and they looked extremely impressive. All aspects of their game look like they're very, very on top of their game, and they're going to come out fighting today. The London Blitz also look extremely dominant too. I was trying to compare it earlier. It's a Goliath versus Goliath fight. They're two amazing teams. It's going to be amazing to watch them today.
Manchester, a phenomenal programme. A number of youth teams, two youth teams at the moment who both made the national under-17s final, and of course their adult team in their first year of Premiership football making it to the playoffs. They'll be facing the London Warriors, I believe, at the Warriors' home ground. So for the Titans, a wonderful atmosphere. We can look around us and you'll see a few blue jerseys scattered around, Leeds not being too far away, of course, at this John Charles Stadium. We managed to catch up with Coach John Homer of the Manchester Titans earlier today. Good afternoon, Coach. How are you doing today?
Yeah, very good. Thank you. Yourselves?
I'm not too bad, thank you.
Good to see you. Thank you for streaming it.
No, it's all right. And was very, very, very pleased to go and see your game last week, your semi-final game against East Kilbride. How are you feeling about today?
We are confident, not cocky. We're as prepared as we can be. The guys have put in some extra work this week. We've done extra S&C. We've had extra walkthrough sessions and scout sessions. So we know everything we need to know. If we get beat, it's because they were better than us. That's why.
You've had a fantastic season, I think 5-0, 5-1. I think there's a little bit of a debacle over that one.
There's not. We're 5-0.
5-0, fair enough. What have the teams been like in the North this year that you faced?
I mean, it's a very strong division. We knew that prior. It's perhaps not panned out quite as we thought it would. But you know, the first up against Chester are a very strangling team when you play them at home. Very difficult to move the ball against. And of course, we've had two fantastic games against EKP as well.
You've had some absolutely phenomenal athletes over the last couple of years.
Yeah.
This year, who's really been a standout for you?
I don't pick up players. You know.
Oh, come on, you must have one or two.
With that, there's some kids who've stepped up from under 17 who have really shone. I mean, we've got a couple of guys who could still be playing under 17 football who are in double figures on touchdowns. But I think our strength has been the fact that we've got, I think, 6 running backs with touchdowns. We've got 5 receivers with touchdowns. We've got 4 guys over 100 yards. You know, we've got 12 guys over 10 tackles, I think. So
a very, very versatile offense as well this year.
Yep.
Do you think that'll aid playing the Blitz today?
Yeah, I certainly hope so. I think one of the things that's really shown for us, or certainly we felt, is that we've looked stronger and fitter towards the end of the games. We've done a lot of work on that. We've done a lot of S&C, but our ability to rotate, particularly at running back, is a strength because we've got fresh guys going into the fourth quarter.
Just with your S&C, your strength and conditioning.
Yep.
I notice it's done by Northern Soul. Is the name that I think I've read somewhere on the paperwork? It's
a guy called Gary Clark,
right,
who played for our senior team a couple of years ago. Runs a gym in Manchester called Northern Soul. So he comes down to our training session, brings all his equipment with him, and we do it on the training pitch for an hour prior to training.
Here's me though thinking you've got your guys dancing to some Northern Soul music.
No, not quite.
That would be quite entertaining.
Yep.
Obviously, you guys as a program, and you see it in bright gold letters at Titans' name, have really grown over the last few years. I think you've run double coverages program of the year 2 years running.
Yep. Three-peat.
We're
going to go for it.
There we go. I think we've got double coverage members around today. How has the junior team been benefiting from that growth?
I mean, we've seen it over the last 4 seasons. So the work that Coach Chapman did with Verity. I mean, Verity's been running this team since 2009. It's really dragged it through some poor seasons that it's had. Coach Chapman came in, and then I think him coming in coincided with the first players graduating from under 17 teams as well. So they've had 3 good seasons. We've had 2 divisional titles. We've been to 2 semi-finals in those 3 years. But I think this is probably the first year that we've had a mass graduation from 2 under 17 teams. So at the start of the season we had 40 players and I think only 3 true rookies. So that's where the strength comes from. Do you think with this growth it's something you can maintain, or do you think it's just a flash in the pan? Oh no, very confident. So we've got a 3rd under 17 team that's now training in the east of the city. We've got a partnership with the Manchester College, which means that kids will be playing flag football 3 days a week in there. So we have plans as well to have a team further in the south of the city. So we're hopeful we'll have 5 teams competing internally in the winter, and then they all enter the BAFTA season.
And obviously your senior team is doing phenomenally well in their first year in the Premiership as well.
Worst team ever.
Worst team ever. What are they? 7 and 3.
7 and 3. I'm very frustrated about that. I told my head coach I expected 8 and 2.
Yeah. So Ben Miles. Let's discuss Ben Miles. Your starting quarterback, I'm assuming today.
Yeah, very much so. Ben is completely unflappable. You'll never see him really get angry. I mean, he looks happy every now and again. But you know, he's got a really good trait that if something goes wrong, it doesn't matter. It's boom, next play. He's very consistent. I think we've thrown 1 pick all season, which in truth be told,
10 touchdowns, 1 interception. I think I read.
It was the receiver's fault. The receiver thought it was a run play and stopped running his route, and the ball flew over his head, and the DB caught it. So
fair enough.
So he's been very consistent. We've been very good.
Now, how far do you think Ben can go? From speaking to him, he's a bit of a student of the game. Do you think he can take this to a high level? Yeah, well, Ben's one. I mean, we've only got 3 players graduating out of this team, so Ben will come back and play again next year and start again, and then hopefully he'll continue on and go and play collegiate as well. Yeah. So you've had a very, very close semi-final game with East Kilbride. We'll discuss that later, I'm sure. But any thoughts going into this game? No, as I said before, we're very, very ready. What last week taught us, or 2 weeks ago, against East Kilbride taught was that we're ready for a fight. We can be behind. We scored 2 touchdowns. So a touchdown in the end of each half within 2 minutes. So we know our 2-minute drill's good. We know we can be down by 7 points with a minute to go, drive the field and score. And we know our fitness is there, that if we go to 4th quarter and overtime, we can power through. I'm going to take a risk here, as I know you've banned the word, but happy birthday, Coach. Oh, thanks, and good luck for today's game. Look forward to speaking to you at the end. Confident, not cocky, were the words that Coach used there. I think that's the best way to be coming into the Blitz. You'll see on your screen in just a second the teams that they've had to face this year. So they've obviously had 2 teams from Scotland as traditional in the Northern League, although they didn't actually play the Highland Wildcats for reasons I'm not quite sure of. East Kilbride, they went up there and won. So they've beaten them twice, although that game was a much more comfortable game for them. Nottingham Caesars, I think it's fair to say they got crucified by the Titans. And they've played Chester as well. Chester, a phenomenal team, and the Merseyside Nighthawks as well. And Manchester really dominant throughout this year and showing their worth.
Well, they've always looked powerful, and you can see that by the way they hold themselves in the field. They never look like they haven't got confidence. And I think it's really showing that when you have the entire team out there doing the walkthroughs, they seem like they could do the exact same thing at full pace. And you can see on the screen here the results this year that they've had. They've had impressive wins over the Merseyside Nighthawks, 48-20. You're quite right, possibly a crucifixion you could call it, over the Nottingham Caesars, 62-0. Obviously, you have that 1-0 forfeit win over the Birmingham Lions, and then they beat the East Kilbride Pilots 34-28.
Yeah, what an incredible semi-final that was. But it goes to show, when you've got such a great program, a growing program, I think they're on about installing a third youth team to the system as well. What that development does for the junior team and the senior program as a whole.
Well, we were speaking about this at the Junior Championships. It's amazing to see so many young people getting involved with the sport, and it can only provide extra growth for the teams above them as well as for the sport itself, because obviously if you have more and more people who aren't going to come in as true rookies, if they're going to come through the system, they can only be improved as players.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think Manchester are a prime example of what that development and that programme can do. Moving on swiftly to the London Blitz, a team that are well versed at any level of the Brit Ball game. Their junior and their senior programme have been phenomenal. This is their 6th time coming to a Brit Ball final in 8 years for their junior programme, so I think it goes to say great credit to them. Led out, of course, by Coach Henry, Jason Henry, who is, of course, now taking the lead on the GB team as well, which is great for the junior programme. Now, they have come in here really thinking, Titans doing what Titans do best, and really quite dominant in that northern sector, as it were. But the Blitz not really finding any stumbling blocks other than their first game against Hertfordshire Cheetahs, who they did beat. But other than that, absolutely dominant throughout the year.
Well, I think, as you were saying there, because he is a coach of such a high class of team, aside from this job that he's doing here today, it means you're always going to have quality at the top that can filter down through the players. And if he's able to teach the GB squad certain things, he can bring that down to this level and teach those players the same fundamentals, which makes them such an impressive team. They've been to 6 of 8 in the last 8 years. They know they can do it. They just have to keep proving against every comer that comes.
Yeah, absolutely, and they were involved with a shootout, I think is fair to say, last year. I'm not sure if you caught that game against the East Kilbride Pirates. Scores for both teams in the 40s, so not much defence going on there, but showing the true strength of the Blitz offence for sure. Their links with DSA, the Dynamic Sports Academy, is well, I think is one of the big key factors. We did speak to Coach Henry earlier on, but we spoke to him, and he said it is a key factor for them. You can look, well, I say you can look behind us. They've just gone into the changing rooms. Absolutely, athletic superstars. Looking at them, if I was at that age and that build, I think I'd be much further on in life, because they are jacked. They look quick. They look powerful.
We were talking about it on the way up here. We were talking about how training and just having the fundamentals outside of the game make you so much more of a better player and athlete. And when you have that structure behind you, it turns you into an all-round athlete, and it makes you so competitive, and that's why they've stayed this competitive.
Yeah, absolutely, and that DSA program really showing its worth when they play so many guys in America as well. And again, it's credit to the Blitz teaching them those football skills, and DSA teaching them those athletic skills. We have now got that interview with Coach Henry that we spoke to him earlier in the game, and he will tell you a little more about his involvement with DSA.
Just a few technical difficulties there, but we'll bring that interview to you as soon as we can. But you talk about DSA. It's not something I was familiar with until we started talking about it, but it does sound like it is integral. Is an amazing long ball, and I would love to see one today.
Absolutely, that would be grand, wouldn't it? Now, for those of you not familiar with the junior game here in the UK, we are playing a 9v9 format at the moment. Usually, traditionally, most teams will take off 2 tackles and play with a centre and 2 guards. It is still played on a full-size field, which makes things very, very entertaining at times. Much harder for defence, a little easier, should I say, for the offence to move the ball and score.
Well, yeah, as I was saying, I've been reviewing film of both these teams before today, And the Manchester Titans work so well at making what they have on the field work for the entirety of the play, that no one individual gives up on the play. You'll have wide receivers on the other end of the field who are still trying to jam and push people away from the play. And I think that's one of the advantages of this format, is that everything's fast and everything's always 100% going.
Yeah, very much so. It's key to get that outside containment on your defense going. Make those tackles, wrap up. No highlight reel hits. Although I'm sure we'd love to see them here today. Of course we would. But in terms of good defense in this 9v9 format, it is all about keeping that outside edge. The Blitz this year, a very, very strong running game, which is traditional of them. Not much in the way of passing from what I've seen so far. Of course, Aaron Mahoney-Jones, last year's MVP, was so dominant in that performance last year, 300 yards plus, and now playing football in the States.
Well, I think that was one thing I was also discussing with you earlier, is that if you can find a gap in the O-line and your player can hit it fast enough, he could be gone. If they're covering all the wide receivers, there's a possibility that he just runs the entire length of the pitch. You can hear the wonderful national anthem behind us. All the players standing to attention. Not going to sing it for us, George?
I nearly did. I thought about breaking out into song there, but I thought you don't want to hear my singing voice at this time of day. I don't think people have got enough of a certain type of liquid down the throat to hear my singing yet. But the team's very, very excited, of course, to be here today. We will shortly go down to the coin toss. Have you got anything else to add, James?
I think it's just I want to see a good game. You want to see a good game. Obviously, if one team breaks away, we want to see another team come back in the second half. We don't have favourites. But I think, personally, the London Blitz have got it today, and I'm willing to put my reputation
You're going to put your... is that a prediction?
That's
Go on,
prediction.
Give us a score prediction, James.
Obviously, it's a high-scoring game. I'm going to go 34-28.
34-28, so not a lot of defence from either side.
I think it's going to be decided on offence. Manchester Titans have an amazing set of plays there in their playbook, but I think the London Blitz have just got enough all-round, including that very impressive running game, to edge it today.
Now, interesting that you say that, with London Blitz not really having much trouble throughout the year, not going down as far as I'm aware at all. Manchester, I think, are going to look to gain on that. Now, I'm not a brave man. I am not going to make a prediction. I'm not going to put my reputation on the line. I have a reputation. I don't know how good it is, but no, I think Manchester, from talking to their coaches, will be looking to try and get a score up early and hope to get those Blitz players passing the ball a little bit. Move away from that strong running game that they are aware of.
Manchester,
looking to set the tone.
This game. If you call it's in the air, please. Tails is called. Tails it is. Manchester have deferred. One ball. Yep. Yeah. Which way would you like to play? Okay, if you turn to face the way. Very good.
So you heard there the Manchester Titans will be receiving.
Manchester won the toss, chose to defer, and will kick.
Oh, they're kicking. I apologise. I thought he made the receiving motion.
Yes, so as James has rightly said there, Manchester will be kicking off very shortly. As we head into this break, you will join us up in the comms booth. I look forward to seeing you in a minute.
Goodbye for now.
So welcome back. You are joined in the booth with myself, George Lees, but we've got a special guest today, Tom Henley, of the Nottingham Caesars and of course the Birmingham Lions as well. How are you doing, Tom?
Good, thank you, George. Looking forward to today. It's going to be a good one.
So Manchester looking to kick off with that big man Inkoff, the kicker.
Short kick to start.
And it will be, oh, he's broken one tackle, breaking two and just heading out into that sideline there. And that was that man, Euphoma, returning the ball. So, what are you thinking about today's game, Tom?
I'm not sure, to be honest. Two very well coached teams, so I'm hoping a close game. But you can never underestimate the Blitz.
And it will start with that running game, but Manchester very, very quick to swarm there and take that ball down. So, well, I think that was very quick, good defence for Manchester to start with. 3-yard gain by the Blitz.
If they can keep the Blitz to that all day, they'll be happy. Let Ben Miles on offense do some magic.
They'll line up with two receivers left, and they are looking to pass early, which is a little bit of a surprise. And that is that man, Kelvin Sebastian, that was the receiver on that play.
Nice quick completion there. Take what you can get. 3rd and inches, it looks like.
Yeah, so Manchester will be happy that they've not allowed that first down quite yet. But I would anticipate seeing a blitz run with that two receivers to that top of the screen for you and one at the bottom. And there you go, that is that run, and another big powerful running back that they've got.
Ooh, so close to being gone there.
Breaking nice running there, and that was Jason Sotan with the run. There is a flag on the play on the far sideline. Not quite sure what that's going to be. Did you see anything?
Possibly a trip, but I'll have to look back. Hold or trips, Michael?
I'll see what they call having that discussion. Very pleased to have these officials, of course, today.
Personal foul, grabbing the face mask. Offence number 39. That's a 15-yard penalty for the spot of the foul. First down.
Oh, that will bring them way back.
New set of downs, though. Not the end of a drive.
So that will bring up, well, 1st and 20 yards. Blitz looking to pass, got pressure on, and he's taken down. It's a sack for the Titans early on, and that's going to put them in a further hole.
What a dominant play. Three blue jerseys there on the QB.
The big blue wrecking crew, that's what they're known as, isn't it? It is now.
It's a very positive start for Manchester.
So we'll see what the Blitz do here. 2nd and very long. Yeah. We've got two receivers to the bottom of your screen to the right. It's a run play.
Interesting call.
Yeah, very much so. And he's cutting in, and he's found a nice lane, and he's going to take it all the way. And it looks like Nicholas Dolbear is going to go in for the first score of the game for the Blitz. That is a touchdown. No flags on the play. Wow.
Remarkable.
That was very quick.
Look how excited the Blitz sideline after that.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to get them hyped up. You don't want to get them hyped up. Because they will, if the momentum swings in their way, they will run with that. And that really showing that dominant running game that they've had all year.
You've got to feel sorry for Manchester after a big sack, making it 2nd and long for a run play to get them that keyed in.
And that 2-point conversion is no good. So that will bring up Blitz special teams unit to kick back off with the Titans looking to receive. So we'll have to see if Ben Miles, that key quarterback, and actually that's fantastic blocking.
Good,
just looking at that
receiver locking out, and then this is just special. Look at that, 3 men around him, clear through.
Do you know who that reminds me of? An under-19 great.
Aaron Mahoney-Jones?
Yeah, Aaron, of course. I was going to say Robbie Jones. He was a slippery customer that managed to do that several times, actually, on this field in a national final as well. So the Blitz will kick off here.
Interesting kickoff formation by Manchester.
Bit of a short kick, but it has bounced, and Manchester will return with, well, that was fantastic special teams containment. 4 Blitz players surrounding him, and nowhere for Manchester Titans returner to go. That was Tom Morgan, the man looking to receive the ball.
Looking forward to seeing what Ben Miles can do today. One of the best quarterbacks in the country. Expecting big things today.
So Manchester, we know they can pass. Ben Miles this year, his rates have been 10 touchdowns to 1 interception, and their running game is also strong. In the first, well, complete pass, and he's going to come up short. I think they're going to mark him around about 2 and 1.
Like that from the receiver. Slumped slightly behind him. Strong running. Get the yards after the catch.
Yeah, Lewis Parker, the man there that caught the ball.
Big, strong receiver.
So it's going to be 2nd and 2. I apologise, our scoreboard does appear to have some issues at the moment. And Ben Miles looking, and that to me, and it is going to be a flag, I would hazard a guess he's going to call that for pass interference. It was a strong-bodied play by the defensive back, McDowell of the London Blitz there.
What I like so far, Miles seems to be under a lot of pressure from the Blitz front, but he's composed, makes his reads, darts it in there.
Pass interference, defence number 25. Ball will be placed at the spot of the foul, automatic, first down.
So that will give those Manchester Titans, the men in blue, a first down, the first down for them of the game, as they come up in not quite a stacked formation on the bottom of your screen, but they are looking to run this time in a nice big running hole. And this is the beauty of under-19 football for an offensive side of things. Once you get into open space, you have loads of it. That was Tom Jones, the man carrying the football there, number 3. A change of jersey from him.
Promising start to the game.
Yeah, very much so. Could be a high-octane game.
Another shootout from Manchester, maybe.
We'll see what they run here.
Trips bunch to the left.
And that's a counter play. He's fumbled it on the handoff, but he has managed to recover it. That was Tom Jones diving on that football. So he's going to bring up around about 2nd and 5, 2nd and 6, 2nd and 15, 2nd and 16. I do apologise. Yeah, I can't work out my maths quick enough. So we'll see if they pass. Being this deep down, they've got that stack formation to the left. And it is a pass, and he's looking at a low ball. I think they're going to call that incomplete.
I feel like that was a catch, George.
If we pick it up on replay and we can slow it right down, we can have a closer look. But that was a low ball, and perhaps they've called it right there. So it will bring up 3rd and around about 16 yards for those Titans to try and complete this. And it is a motion on the play. And it looks like it's going to be a sack. That's the 2nd sack we've seen today as Miles goes down. So it's going to bring up, well, 4th. And do you care to do the maths on this one?
4th and very long.
4th and very long. I'm not quite sure our scoreboard will accommodate that. But it is
4th and 27.
It's a long way out, that's for sure.
Did you go for a fake here?
No, not with the Blitz offense. And look at that. That looks fierce with the Blitz lining up like that as they send a heavy rush.
Heavy block.
And that ball is going to bounce out of bounds. It's around about the 35-yard line there. just trying to work out whether we're working on a full 100-yard field, which it appears we are today. So that makes for some heavy running for these guys. Well, I say traditionally, a lot of the time we see 90-yard fields, but we are on the full thing today. So Blitz coming out for their second drive of the game. Already a touchdown score up. 2 receivers to the left, 2 running backs and 1 to the right. And it's going to look, well, fairly deep actually. And it's going to, and it nearly was a one-handed pick. That was a beautiful attempt for sure. That was Matt Ellis, the defensive back there.
London will let off there.
Very much so.
No one there could have been returned to the house as well.
He should have had 2 hands on that one, really. If you can get 1 to it, you can get 2 to it.
That's why it's a DB though, a receiver who can't catch.
Yeah, we'll not mention anything about that, being a former defensive back myself, but a great effort to bring that ball down and keep it away from the receiver, and he's going to look to run, and he's not really picked up anything there. It's going to bring up 3rd, and we'll see it where he marks him. I think they're going to be generous and give him around about 4 yards, so it's going to be about 3rd and 6 on this play. We'll see what they can muster here. Trying to move this ball. Last time they were in a 3rd down situation, they ran it to the house in a very large game, and it is going to be, well, an option play really, but he passed it forward. And I think he's going to be marked short. He can't quite see there on that sideline. Nicholas Dolbier, again, the player that was running with the ball, looking to find a hole.
Some interesting footwork there as well.
Yeah, I saw that little
high knees.
Bambi on ice springs to mind. 4th and 2. So I suspect we'll see them punt. Interesting, Manchester haven't got a returner on the field. And it's worked out in their favour actually. The pressure's giving them great field position as it's turned over. And it will be turned over on the Blitz 26-yard line.
A momentum game. Let's see if Manchester can take advantage now.
So they really need to get something here to try and get the momentum back on their side following that turnover on downs.
Illegal formation, 5 men in the backfield. Offense, that penalty is declined. First down.
And there you go. So Ben Miles leading his team back out again. See if they can get a score here. I'm not quite sure that is a stack formation, is it? It's more like a wide bunch. Oh, he's flown through the defensive player, the linebacker absolutely flying through the line for the sack, and it looks like it was Tunde there with the tackle, nicknamed Tunde. Ganayu is his surname.
Something seems the Blitz haven't lost since last year's final. That front of that defense is very, very fast to the quarterback.
Yeah, very much so, and it is all about for a defense using it, working against that, getting the ball out quick if you're going to throw. And again, he's through, and it's another fumble. And and it's fumbled again. But I think Manchester are going to retain that football. It's going to bring up 3rd and very, very long.
It's what you love to see in a game early on, a big man getting a chance with the ball.
It's decent yardage again that they're going to have to try and overcome. And it's not the start that they'll have wanted. He'll be looking to pass here. No pass protection. Again, sacked. Well, 2 in a row. And they just keep going backwards. And it's not the start that Manchester Titans will have wanted, that's for sure. And it will bring up 4th and very, very long.
They need to figure out a protection scheme to protect Ben in the pocket. Just to give him 2 seconds, let him get a quick pass off. He's got the arm talent for it, he just needs the platform to launch it off.
So we'll see what they can muster here. And it's a decent punt, and it's going to be marked down on around about the Blitz 26-yard line there. So, back to the Blitz. Didn't manage to muster anything last time to get a score. Currently 6-0 up, and momentum very much in their favour after that defensive drive.
once again, it comes down to the protection of the QB. If they can't protect Miles, I struggle to see how they'll get their offense moving down the field.
So Blitz coming out in that same formation. They are looking to pass first play, and it's out wide and, well overthrown that time. And did have a man wide open, but much too high. So that will bring up 2nd and 10 for those Blitz. What are your thoughts on today's game?
It's a good one so far. Would like to see a bit more offense on the Manchester side. But Manchester's D seems to be containing the Blitz offense quite well after the early score. So hopefully...
And it is that run, that fierce run, and he's broken one tackle, and he's well brought down there that time by the Titans linebacker. It looked like 56 there, Nathan Groom, GB player, recently transferred over from Chorley Bucks, and a big strong linebacker looking at it from up here as well. So they'll line up, and it's going to be about 3rd and 4 for the Blitz. And it is a run going out wide. Oh, big hit, and he is. Yeah, it is. He's going to get the first down this time on that play. So really, as we mentioned in pre-game, Blitz very much a club of pedigree history, should we say. And the senior team have competed in British American football continually since 2005, so 13 years of football with playoff runs in 05, 07, 09 as well, and of course they've been in that way recently as well. Solid outfit all around. As they don't get anywhere on that play, it's going to be 2nd and 10. Phenomenal outfit, I would imagine, to be part of.
Just look at the numbers on the sideline as well. Remarkable, the squad size at junior football.
It's a short pass, but he's managed to get an edge actually, and he's going to get the first down. He's cutting back inside, and he's going to get a few more yards to gain. A strong throw and catch there, making the receiver do the work. Looked like he was going to get caught out in the backfield. Manages to find a seam up the edge and a first down. That's the kind of football you like to see, isn't it? Little hitches make the receiver do the work.
Quick, conservative passing game. Get the yards.
So it'll be 1st and 10 here for those Blitz players. And it is going to be a run, and he's going to try and get out to the right-hand side. He's got some speed, he cuts, and he darts and he weaves, and he's got another first down.
Got to say, number 29 is putting some key blocks for number 9. Really setting up the run game well.
Yeah, Sortan, that man, lead blocking that. We'll just see what they've called. As they've marching back. I'm assuming it's the end of the quarter. Very, very quick first quarter. Quicker than anything I've seen, that's for sure. So.
And just started.
Yeah, very much so. But when you're running like they are, this clock does tend to run. They only play with I think a junior football is a 10-minute quarter as opposed to a 15-minute quarter. Maybe 12. That has absolutely flown by, but when you're running like you are and completed passes, sacks to boot, that clock is going to tick away.
The multiple sacks of Miles will definitely chew up the clock a fair bit.
So again, coming out in that same formation, and he's going to look to run outside again, cuts back inside, and he's found a seam, and he might go all the way. I think they're going to mark him short on about the 1 yard line, and that's that man. Dolby again.
Twinkle toes.
Twinkle toes is what we'll call him. But great work there, finding a cut seam, cutting all the way back up, and you just
I felt if he bounced
see it on the replay.
There,
yeah,
he could have got to the end zone if he bounced out.
He's certainly got the speed, but they're going to mark him short. We'll see if they can punch it in here. And he's actually looking to pass, and he's got out. And he's going to look, I think, to run this all the way in, and he has got it. That is the second touchdown of the game for the Blitz. No flags on the play. And a great play by those guys to get it in, and that will put them 12-0. And actually, we've got an injury on the field as the officials wave over the medics. What do you think to that drive there, Tom?
Strong from the Blitz. Blitz doing Blitz things, I guess.
Maintained a nice drive there as well that time. It wasn't just a quick one-play wonder, as it were.
Getting our money's worth.
So we'll just see what the proverbial damage is here. Medic's not too quick to run across that sideline. So just going back briefly to the Blitz history, 2009 saw the club expand again. That was when the junior team was formed, which is going back now 9 years, if my maths is correct. And they entered the league in 2010 and have been a dominant force, really, I think it's fair to say, throughout those years. 2016 juniors first divisional title, winning every game unbeaten. During that run, including that nail-biting decider 14-12 away at the Leeds Academy. There.
Just find it remarkable, the size of some of the London Blitz players.
I apologise, that was Manchester Titans history. That was Manchester. So, Manchester Titans have had a number of great players as well heading through their system. We've got Jonathan Pangago, who was a Spanish international. Do you remember playing against him? He was a solid running back, big guy. He's currently now playing, I think, for the senior squad at the Titans, and he's played in Finland and Spain, and they've had a number of other great players go through. Of course, as mentioned, although the word is banned, I'm not quite sure whether he's sunbathing there or whether he's actually that hurt, as it were, but it looks like it's going to be an ankle injury if he does come off for that. Not looking like he's in too much pain, though.
Got to be careful, though. Always worth taking the precautions to make sure you don't worsen the potential injury. You're always a bit too tough on your players, I'd say.
I don't know. I don't think I was that tough on players. I think that's. I think it's better to be tough in some situations. But you're right. It is always wise to take those precautions, as you rightly say there.
Saying he's not injured, they're bringing a wheelchair out for him now.
I was maybe a little bit presumptuous there, but it does seem to be an ankle injury, although he doesn't seem to be in too much pain. So we'd like to thank, whilst we've got this break in play, give our thanks to EP Sports for helping make today's stream possible. As the UK's premier supplier of equipment and accessories, they are the first stop for players from all over Europe, and you can check them out at www.epsports.co.uk. And they have bought a wheelchair over, but he's making his way off under his owner's steam. So, a big round of applause to him as he crosses over. So this will bring up that 2-point conversion, as the Blitz have just scored off that play. So we'll see. Manchester Titans managed to stop them the last time round. We'll see if the Blitz can score here. They are. Oh, and it's a run, it's a fumble. And well, this is going to be an interesting call. I don't know, one, if he's crossed the line, and two, who managed to dive on it. But
don't think it entered in the end zone.
No, it looks like they're going to give it a no-go. No good on that 2-point conversion there. We'll just see it here on the replay. I think it was a bad snap to start with, to be honest, as the quarterback turns around. Sorry, the handoff, as it just hits the running back's knee. bobbles once, bobbles twice, and actually I think
short.
Yeah, it's definitely short. I think Blitz did recover it. Any standout players for yourself so far, Tom?
Has to be number 9 for the Blitz. Incredible running so far. Incredible. Look forward to see what he can do for the other 3 quarters of the game.
Any defensive standouts for those Blitz players yet?
Not that I've noticed, but I'll keep an eye out for it.
Great team defense all around, I think is fair to say. Manchester really having to step up here to get something going. Otherwise, as you've said, it may well end up a blowout, with London currently 12-0 up at the early stages of the second quarter. And it's going to be another short kick, well taken that time by the Titans. Oh, and a monster hit, and you could feel that around your ribcage as you saw him thunder in to make the hit. And it's going to actually, he looks in some pain, and that's
just the wind knocked out of him.
Yeah, that's Gracie Aincoff there for the Titans, and he's just been accepted to Filton Pride. Well, thunderous hit, and you could hear that collision from up here in the booth, and we're a fair way away as we head in for another break here in play with the medics coming onto that field. So I think you've got some stats for us in front of you, Tom, haven't you?
So number 9, my star player at the minute, 105 yards and 1 TD. Only just gone past the first quarter.
That's some impressive going, I think. 3 sacks as well, of course, for that defense, and 32 yards on the passing game for those Blitz players as the Titans line up to take over there. And there is going to be another whistle on the plate. So we'll see what this one's for, and they are going to march them forward.
Illegal formation, 10 men on defence. It's a 5-yard penalty. First down.
There we go. Something you can't afford at any game, really, but let alone a national final game. Don't want the penalty yards to cost you here. They will come in hard and fast, no doubt. Ben Miles will need to get this ball out quickly if it is a pass play. And Miles is looking to step back. He's got it out quickly to his running back, and it's a nice spin move, and that's that man, Tom Jones, with the reception. And they are, I think, going to mark him short. I think they are going to mark him short. I say hesitantly, but it's not far off. They are now deciding to move the chains. It is going to be a first down, and a great play, as you say.
Good awareness. Really encouraging to see that from a junior player.
And Miles is looking to hand off again, and he squirms around one. I think his knee actually went down there, and they have spotted it. So it won't be a big gain there, if a gain at all. And actually they're going to mark him backwards. I think it's going to bring up around about 2nd and 12 on this play. So better defense for the Blitz players this time round. So Titans this time with 2 running backs in the backfield, 2 receivers at the top of your screen, 1 to the bottom. And they are looking to pass. Miles looking to get it out fast and well covered up, although a flag on the play. I suspect it's going to be pass interference, but we'll see what he calls here.
Manchester have the right idea though. Blitz playing off coverage. Quick slant to there. Just need the ball placement to be on it.
You see there, Miles knew exactly where he's going to throw that football to before the snap, and well covered up by McDowell. We'll see what the
Pass
officials
interference,
say.
Defence. The ball will be placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic first down.
I feel that's a bit tough on 25.
Yeah, from that angle, it looked like great coverage. Aggressive coverage, no doubt, but it will bring up a first down for the Titans, and that's the 2nd penalty on this drive the Blitz defense has given up. And they have got that motion man coming across. And it's going to be a pitch
Smart play design there.
And he's going to pick up 3-4 yards. He ran a long way outside, but not making much progress going forward. And that Blitz defense very quick to pick that up. I'm going to bring up around about 2nd and 6 for the Titans offense. See what they can come up with here as Miles looks to step back, and he's spun out of that sack. He's got to get rid of that football, and he has managed to get away. They are going to call it a sack, but only a loss of a yard on that play. And some good running there by Miles to stay on his feet and not go down 3, 4, 5 yards back. So he's going to bring up a third down for the Titans. In this situation, what would you be looking to do?
It's interesting, the Blitz's defense, cover 0. So, man across the board. In my opinion, worth taking a shot with the isolated receiver down at the bottom of the screen.
And it's bad snap, and it's going to be recovered by the Blitz. And Miles never really got a hand on it. Never grasped the hand around that football, and it's going to be a turnover on downs and a Blitz possession. So Manchester will be worried now at this point. Only 12 points down, so very much in the game, but their offense not really moving with 15 yards there from the Blitz defense given to them.
No one's covering the Blitz.
No, and it looks like a defensive scheme. Now there is a flag on the play. I'm not quite sure what that one's going to be for. But as you rightly said there seemed to be some miscommunication from the Titans, who left the Blitz receiver
15 completely open.
Yeah, they did leave Adioka wide open as the quarterback didn't spot it actually, and they were going for the running game. They were very much set in their ways. We'll see what the officials call here.
Substitution infraction. Defence. That's a 5-yard penalty. First down.
And that will bring up 1st and 5 yards for the Blitz after that flag. And it's Krauscher, the quarterback for the Blitz, handing off to a big, powerful running back. He's going to get an outside lane before being pushed out of bounds. And that man, Martinez, is, well, you wouldn't want to stand in front of him. He is a solid young man.
Not.
You just see it here. Nobody really touches him until he gets to the sideline. Well blocked, nice attempt to try and get the cut, but good enough to slow the defensive player down, and doesn't get touched, as we say, up until that sideline there. And here we go. That's a big running play by that man again, and he stayed in bounds actually, and he has eventually been brought down there, and that again was Dolbey. And he has been, well, fantastic throughout this game. A squirmy running back, I think, is the word to use.
Elusive. I feel like elusive
squirmy,
is the more appropriate term.
Elusive would be, but squirmy's got a nice ring to it. Bring up another 1st down. Not quite 1st and goal. They will be marked on the 15-yard line here. They are looking to run again. That big power back. And I think he's going to be marked short, but the Blitz pushing that pile. It does look like they're going to wave him off at about the 2-yard line, which will bring up 1st and goal for the Blitz, who have really gained momentum.
It must be nice for Coach Henry to have 2 excellent running backs in the backfield.
Yeah, and we saw them, of course, before the game warming up. How many running backs were they warming up, or how many potential running backs were they warming up?
5, 6, 7. Strength in depth.
And the Blitz looking at putting in another score here, and it is, I think they may mark him short actually. And a great defensive stop, yeah. A great defensive stop by the Titans.
38 injured.
It does look like you are correct in saying it's Martinez that's down. Blitz very much looking to power this football over the line and show their true dominance in that running game. Titans really need to dig deep here to, well, I think preferably get a turnover rather than even thinking about a field goal, whether the Blitz will go for it. I'd imagine they're the sort of team in this situation to go for it on 4th down. So if you are watching at home, you can get in touch with us via the hashtag BritBowl32. It is the 30th one, I think, actually, for the junior game. It is the BritBowl 32 series. Correct. And that is why it is hashtag BritBowl32. And that wheelchair is out again. We're not quite sure whether it's come out for the player or whether he's just carting his medical equipment on it, but
hopefully 38 will be okay and can return to the game later.
It actually looks like another potential lower leg ankle injury, so whether there's something on this field that we've not seen, a few potholes somewhere, as it were.
Well, it's the problem when you have athletic stadiums. Obviously we're not in a world where American football is the primary sport.
You sound like you're well versed in athletic stadiums versus football games there. Hopefully he is okay, of course. You may have just seen on your screen that EP Sports advert, very kindly bringing this stream for you alongside ourselves at Onside Productions. Coach Henry doesn't look overly concerned as he strolls across the sideline. So it does look like they are getting him onto his feet. Hopefully he comes off with his own self-esteem. It does look like he is going to. They clap him off. So again, EP Sports kindly bringing this stream for us. And again, thanks to EP Sports for helping make today's stream possible, the UK's premier supplier of equipment and accessories. And they will look to push this ball in. It's second and, well, I think it's 2nd and 2 from up here. 2nd and 1, 2nd and 2. So it does look to be coming off. He's got power on that leg, and they are going to push that ball in. Touchdown. And they are, yes. Another score for the Blitz, and they are quickly racking this score up, and it will be 18 points to zip for that Blitz offense. And that Blitz team, no doubt they'll be attempting 2 points here as well. Manchester are going to have to really dig deep here to try and get some scores on the board before we head into half-time.
Certainly helps the Blitz having experience of final games. Definitely knowing no stage is too big for them.
They are going for that 2-pointer. Just another bobble on the 2-pointer, and he's down. And that is going to be another no-good attempt. So that's 3 attempts on the 2, all of which have been stuffed by the Titans.
Interesting, the number of fumbles on such a dry day.
Yep. Quick-paced offense. I'm not quite sure the reason for this ball slipping here. It looked like a clean handoff, but just bobbled down his leg. So nearly had his head taken off there as well, but fast reactions by the defense to get to the downed player. So Manchester will be looking to return this football. Last time round they got decent field position but didn't manage to capitalise, and it looks like that man Joseph Hurley will be kicking off for the Blitz here. And it's another short kick to the sideline, and I think they're going to leave it to go. It's going to be a flag on the play, and well, I'll be intrigued to see where the Titans will. What do you think they'll do? Do you think they'll go for a re-kick? Or do you think they'll take the field position?
I'd take the field position.
He's not got a deep kick from what we've seen so far.
What do you think they were doing? Surprise onside, maybe?
No, I think that's a similar sort of kick to what he tried last time. Looks like Titans are going to take the field position here.
Illegal procedure, kick-off out of bounds. Kicking team, 5-yard penalty from the end of the play. First down.
So Titans lining up. Virtually no success, and I would hazard a guess, other than penalty yardage, they'll be in negative yards on offense, which will be worrying. They are going to run that ball, and going absolutely nowhere, although he keeps his legs driving. They may give him 2 yards for his efforts there. We'll see what they can do to try and get this first down. It's going to be 2 and around about 8 yards.
Bunch down.
As you have correctly stated, it is a bunch at the bottom of your screens there. Be looking to pass, no doubt, and it's a nice counter play, although the Blitz very quick to pick that ball up, to pick that runner up, and absolutely nowhere to go. It's going to bring up 3rd and 9. They're actually going to mark him down for a loss of yards there. See, it's a nice counter play, but Blitz defense very quick to pick it up.
I'd like maybe to see some speed options, trying to set up the counter before, keep the Blitz defense honest.
Titans changing formation, that two receivers set in a, and Ben Miles is looking to pass. He's gone out of pressure, and he has got the pass completion, but it's not going to be a first down. It's going to bring up 4th and around about 4 yards to go, and I think in this situation they'd have to seriously consider going for it. 18 points down, nowhere, well, by no means out of the equation, and it actually looked like there may have been a face mask there, but not picked up by the official.
That play
Time
just
out.
highlighted. Let the
First
official
charge
speak
time
first.
out of the half.
That play just highlighted Miles' ability to be a playmaker. The fact 5 rushes in his face, try a roll out, evade the sack, throw across his body, not ideal.
There are 4 minutes, 12 seconds on the clock.
So about 4 minutes left on the clock. Titans taking a timeout. I would anticipate seeing them go for it here. Long discussion. Now, your passing game, you've picked up a few yards, but the pressure on Miles has been incredible. Your running game, at times you've seen yards being picked up. Pass or run? Call it.
Pass. Pass.
Are you passing on the question, or are you passing on going for a pass play?
Well, as a quarterback, I'd always say pass, wouldn't I? But how the Blitz DBs are lining up, it's so tempting to try to do a quick slant underneath.
And that is actually, he's going for a deep ball, and he's gonna, and a nice pass break up there. Good coverage from the defensive back. He's not going to be flagged this time, and that was Mateo McDowell with the coverage. And Miles looking for that tall receiver, Max Gracie Ainkoff. And
for me on that play, I don't understand why you'd go deep with a DB going off coverage. Just try and get that quick slant. That has worked in this game when you only have to pick up 2 or 3 yards.
You're correct. We have seen that work for them so far, and as you rightly say, they are stepped off quite a way. But when you've got a tall receiver and you're 18 points down, I think that was coaches thinking there, just give it a chance. The Blitz will come back on. We've not seen a formation change. They are looking to pass this time, and it is going to be. Do we play one bounce, one hand?
Was it 2 bounce headers?
And that was Croucher there, and left-handed quarterback as well. Don't
shame. The quarterback needs to just set up his foundations a lot firmer. Just do not throw off his back foot.
So that's going to bring up 2nd and 10 for the Blitz.
It's a nice play design, though.
And the Blitz looking to run the ball, and it is that man again, and he's doing a good job. It's going to get a nice little pick up there. They're going to mark him down for about 6 yards on that play, so it's going to bring up a 3rd and 4 for the Blitz offense. He really is an elusive runner.
Slippery.
Slippery. You can call it what you want, but He really has done a good job for this offense so far. Good blocking as well, although this time he was stuffed up. And a great play by Manchester's defense that time. Lead blocker there, having to choose between which man to go for, went for neither, and both men went for the running back, and a much better play by the Titans defense to bring up around about 4th and 4 on this next play.
It appears they're going for it.
Yeah, I mean, they're an aggressive team, and I'm not surprised to see that here. And it is a handoff. He's going to try and get out of bounds, but I think they're going to call him short by the looks of the Titans' sideline, which means it's going to be a turnover on downs and a Manchester Titans drive.
See, in my mind, go for a punt, try and get it out within the 10, put the Manchester row backed up against their own goal line.
We'll see what Titans can do here. Let's see if they've spotted that quick slant, and as you say, defensive backs certainly on the isolated receiver a good 5, 6, 7 yards off. And he is going for another deep ball this time. Now, that is a flag on the play. I suspect they're going to call it for pass interference. It was some aggressive play by the defensive back. We'll have another look here. Miles looking to step back. Knew exactly where he's going to throw it.
Pass interference, defense number 25. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
So that's the second time he's been called for pass interference here. It's going to bring up another Titans first down. Really, the only way they seem to have moved this ball is on penalties. That was strong coverage, certainly, and I think they've just called him really for grabbing that jersey. Just see him try and grasp round. Miles looking to pass, dump off to the running back. It's gone backwards, so that it's a live play. And it's going to be a loss. It's going to bring up second and around about 14 yards there for the Titans. Not what they wanted. Not long before they head in for half-time.
Going back to that trips formation at the bottom there.
See what they run here. The last time they ran this play, it was a counter play. They are going to look. It's a running back dump, and it's wide open. See if he can get some yards. It's well wrapped up. They're going to give him maybe 8 yards there.
Close. 58. So close.
It was very much so. Getting his hand in front of the quarterback.
Oof.
Fingertips away. But it was a completion from Miles to Jones. And the whistle has blown here.
2-minute warning. That's the 2-minute warning.
This game flying through. And that is a 2-minute warning. See what they can do here. Need to get a score before the half.
Look at the amount of space that receiver is in.
See, and he has noticed it. Miles has picked it up, but it's a short throw, and it's going to bring up 4th down and around about 4 yards. And I think here they really do need to get going, give it a go. And that it was certainly the right read, that one-on-one situation.
Still there now.
We'll see. Manchester have very tall receivers, so and the receiver wasn't even looking for the football that time.
Miscommunication.
Yeah, very much so. Lewis Parker, the intended receiver, and Miles actually a much better throw and should really have been caught. We just see it there. Miles looking to get the ball out. Knew exactly where he was going, but the receiver
just thought it was a run play, surely.
Yeah, very much so. Looked like he was trying to block in that situation. So the Blitz coming back in, already 18 points to them. Oh, it's going to be a run. It's going to. And that was quick thinking by the Blitz running back. Not to drop on the football, but to grab the arm of the man coming in. He spotted that ball on the ground.
How many fumbles? day.
It's been way too many fumbles, and I think both sets of coaches will be having words about this at half-time. It's going to bring up around about 2nd and 13 for the Blitz.
Got an update for number 9's rushing stats. 150 so far and a half, 150 plus.
I seem to think we were in a similar situation last year with Aaron Mahoney-Jones having these stats fed into us, and it's another, I say nice run play. It's actually going to be a gain of maybe a yard.
56 there from the Titans, nice and strong.
Yeah, we mentioned his name before, Nathan Groom, solid linebacker. And that's a way to make yourself known, very much just a slingshot to the ground. See what the officials are blown for here.
Timeout, Manchester. It's the second timeout of the half.
Manchester very much trying to get this football back. And it'd be interesting to see if they do get the football back, what they've got planned, if they've got any trick plays they might run before they head in. Always love to see a good trick play. First of all, the Blitz, and it's another fumble. Now, the Blitz have recovered that this time. It's going to bring up... We'll see what happens on this replay. And it's just gone straight between quarterback's legs, Croucher's legs. And he's quick to dive on it.
Can't imagine Coach Henry being very happy right now with his team.
No, and a lot of handling errors
Timeout
from both sides.
Manchester, that's the third and final timeout. 33 seconds remaining.
Again, no returner.
Yeah, that is interesting, bearing in mind we're not far away from, we're well into the 2-minute warning now. We thought they'd want a chance here, but pressure on.
Look!
That's worked well for them, but there is a flag on the play. He's going to take it to the house, and it's Manchester's number 30, Ryan Weaver, who was the first man on that fumbled snap, or that blocked punch, should I say. But there is a flag on the play, so we will see who that is on.
I hope for the sake of this game it isn't on the Titans.
No, I think the Titans will be hoping that's on the offense, but I don't know if
Illegal formation, offense. 5 men in the backfield, that penalty is declined. Touchdown.
So that will put the first points on the board for Manchester. Bearing in mind we're not too far away from Manchester here in Leeds at John Charles. Manchester's brought a fair few fans, I think it's fair to say. Some rowdy senior players that you may hear over on atmospheric mics, and we apologise if they do say anything out of turn. If you are watching at home, you can get in touch with us, of course, using that hashtag, hashtag BritBall32. So Manchester just waiting. There's actually a injury on the sideline at the moment, and that's the hold up in play.
Once again, the momentum swings.
That big Mo, so I think I'm not quite sure. He covered his mouth there in an ominous way, whether he's just taken a bit of a hit to the stomach and a little bit winded perhaps. He is getting up now.
What was that, 2 fumbles in a row, then a block punt?
Yeah, and that won't be what the Blitz were looking to do, that's for sure. It looks like Manchester will be setting up for a 1-point attempt. Haven't seen any extra points completed so far. It's a low snap, got it off, but it does appear to be good. So that is another point for those Titans. 18-7 is the score at the moment. And it is
good composure by all involved there.
Yeah, very much so. A poor snap, but Miles, as you say, quick to spot it, quick to down it.
All credit to number 11 there. I know a fair few kickers would see that ball on the floor and just bail out of the kick.
Yeah, Gracie Akoff, we've called his name a couple of times during this game. So
The Titans will look to kick off. It will give the Blitz another opportunity to put some points on the board before the half is out, though, and we know that they can do it. They've been an effective offense so far, if we don't include that drive, I think is fair to say. So again, that man, Greasy Ainkoff, a low line drive, and I suspect it's going to bobble out of bounds, and it is. There's going to be a flag on the play.
The positive thing for Manchester there is they get the ball at the start of the second half.
Yeah, very much so, and they really do need it to try and stay in this game. So we'll see what Blitz have decided to do here.
Illegal procedure, kick off out of bounds, kicking team. Ball will be placed at the 35-yard line. First down.
You have elected to go for the field position rather than the re-kick. Blitz lining up again, no change in formations, very much staying with what they've done so far. Let's see if they've had a quick word with the quarterback and centre about handling issues. And it's a better snap, and darting and weaving around, trying to find a space, but well wrapped up by Manchester. That was 21 for the Blitz. Unfortunately, we've not got a number for him at the moment, or a name for him.
Down.
You just see it here, he's trying to look for that seam. So is that man again, 56, Nathan Groom for Manchester, who wraps him up, reads the play very well. He's just potentially just been trodden on there, catching it at the tail end of that replay. And John Homer having a word with the official. Hopefully the official's wishing him a happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Coach Homer.
Although he's actually banned that word from the Titans organisation for today.
It's a good coach. Today's the team's day.
Yeah, very much so. But, so the Blitz not really looking to go deep, not putting the ball in the air.
Injury to the player accrues a 10-second runoff. That ends the half.
So a very quick first half. That's for
very
sure.
Quick.
What were your thoughts about that then?
It looked for a stage that things could have got out of hand and that the trophy would have been going to London again before the second half. But with that blocked punt and London's handling issues, it looks like this is going to be a very close game coming out of the second half.
Yeah, momentum very much swinging back into the Manchester Titans' favour. So you leave us at half-time with the score: London Blitz 18, Manchester 7. Manchester Titans 7. You can, of course, get in touch with us using the hashtag BritBowl32, and you will join us after the half-time break.
been an exciting game so far. The London Blitz have taken quite a lot from the game already. They've been very strong running. They haven't shown quite as much in the passing game, but the elite backfield the London Blitz has been put on display, and the Manchester Titans are suffering quite heavily. The Manchester Titans have had flashes of greatness. They've had blockers making the right plays, and things have been going slightly their way. But overall, the real thing that stands out to me for the first half is the sloppiness of some of the handoffs and some of the fumbles. We're looking at the London Blitz being cost yards and yards and yards, and it was pointed out to me that if you look at the replay of the blocked punt, you can see that 3 Manchester Titans are out on the outside expecting this to be a bad punt. They've just seen 2 bad punts in a row. Why would there not be a third? They've now rushed in, got in front of him, and it was an amazing scoop by the Manchester Titans to take all the way in. And honestly, I can't see the Manchester Titans making the rest of the points up unless they can make plays like that again, where they can be smart, notice what the London Blitz are doing, and change their ways. And I think it is possible, and obviously I predicted the London Blitz to win. Not by quite this big a margin. I'd like to see it to be more competitive, but London Blitz can make just as many mistakes as we've just seen as the Manchester Titans. So it'll be interesting to see what happens after this half. And I think we're going to go to some touchdowns in a bit, just to show the quality of the teams that have been on display today. But it's truly something to watch these under-19s play. And you can see here one of the beautiful touchdowns. There's a little hurdle, massive hand to the face there to number 19 from the Manchester Titans, and he's just got acres of space, and no one ever even gets close to him. The gap just widens and widens and widens, and he's confidently into the end zone. And it was a strong first play by the London Blitz. It was something that we came out here expecting. We knew they had a strong run game, and it was something that ended up proving itself true. And it's something the Manchester Titans haven't really found a way to stop yet. They are a very good contendering team, but they need to find a way to stop the big plays, because that's what most of the points have come for the London Blitz is off longer plays. They're not doing these short things to get up the field. They're normally just punching you in the face effectively and saying, right, this is the play we're going to do, and if you can't stop it, we're going to score. Although the London Blitz have left nothing on the field really, and you can see this is one of the many fumbles that ended that first half, and you can the running back just squirms it into his arm. He was very lucky it didn't pop out again when the Manchester Titan hit him, but it was a pretty disappointing way for the London Blitz to win that first half with so many mistakes. And it's not something I can personally say that I wouldn't do, but you can see that amazing hand there blocking that punt, and the Manchester Titans are they immediately react. There's no hesitation, and that again is something in this game that is very important, is a lack of hesitation when something happens. And lovely something to celebrate there, a lovely celebration by number 30 from Manchester Titans to give them something to build on coming back from the break. And I'm sure they'll be excited to get something on the board, because if you come in 18-zip into the half and there's nothing there for you to come back to, nothing to build off, you can lose a lot of that steam. And hopefully, I'm not gonna rest my laurels on it, but I think my prediction is still going to be right. I think the Manchester Titans have a lot more to give, and I think we'll see that in the second half. Obviously, one of the things that is very important to American football is being able to rotate your players, and because both squads have brought such a big teams with them, they can make those necessary changes. That has alternatively also affected in some bad ways, because we've seen multiple penalties, for players not getting off the field quick enough, or substitution infractions, and that has cost the teams. In addition, there have been some silly penalties, mostly by the London Blitz, I have to say, specifically pass interference. Now, it's about DBs being in the right position, but they also have to make a play on the ball. They can't just hit at the arms of the Manchester Titans, which is what's happening right now, and it's cost them 2 very big plays. And I'm hoping to see an improvement then from the DBs, because there is a talk at this level where the quarterback will read the field, and if he sees that the wide receiver is being covered very heavily, but if he is alongside him, if the wide receiver is alongside the DB, the quarterback might just go, oh, it's a bit too risky, and then not throw it, which is something that can happen. And I hope to see an improvement in this half. And we're just going to throw to some ads now, and then you'll be rejoined by Mr. George Lees.
Absolutely. And it was those little plays that kind of got the Titans offense working, but yet to really see anything so far. Blitz, of course, really showing their, well, both their offensive prowess and their defensive prowess. Both these teams, I think it's fair to say, will be but ready, I think, is to come into this game. But if you did manage to catch the first half, there were a number of, as you call it, fumble bucks. As a coach, from my perspective, I would be having words about that, getting those handling issues, handling errors out of the way to try and get these offensive teams going a bit more. What would you be asking from, well, let's say from a player's perspective, what would you be asking of your team?
As a player, if I was on the Blitz, handling. But just confidence, head up and play with that swagger they know they have. They're still in control of this game. If they just eradicate their own mistakes, they're there. They're across the line. From a Titans side, man, I'd be looking at that O-line. They're talented individuals, and they're coming across a tough Blitz defense. But they need to give their Q more time. If they can do that, they're back in this game.
Yeah, the receivers for the Titans have the opportunity. They're certainly in space, and we spoke to a Titan supporter coming up. Actually, I think it may
head coach of a senior team.
No, and actually I think it was Caleb Jackson, the head coach of one of their youth teams. But hooded up, hat on, and sunglasses makes it difficult to recognise. But I'm sure it was. But he's rightly pointed out that the Blitz currently aren't playing with a deep safety. So any of those deep balls stand a chance, and with your receivers as tall as they are, or even if you get a slant, if you only have to break one tackle to get decent yardage heading upfield. We've spoken a lot about Ben Miles, but throughout the season he's had a fantastic outing. I think we've got some stats in front of you. He's had some good numbers, hasn't he, this year, Tom?
So a 60% completion ratio, 780 yards. Longest was 78.
Well, that's good going.
And then that impressive 10 touchdowns to 1 interception.
I think there is a number of quarterbacks around the league that would be very, very jealous of that. Great stat, and actually I think talking to Coach Homer before the game, it was actually an interception caused by the receiver who, not too dissimilar from a play we saw earlier today, thought it was a running play and wasn't looking. The DB more aware than the receiver was, and just taking that ball out of the air before a receiver could turn around.
I tell you what, imagine being a senior coach at Titans or the Blitz and then seeing the talent on show today.
Yeah, and I think we see this now more with predominant programs. As we mentioned before, the Titans, 2 youth teams currently, a women's team, the junior and the senior team as well, with another youth team due to be formed very, very soon. Both youth teams making the national final, plate final, not too long ago, middle of August. And the seniors, of course, in their first year of Prem Ball, getting all the way to the playoffs, and it looks like they're going to be facing the Warriors.
London as well.
And of course the Blitz, whilst I'm not aware that they've got a youth program at the moment, a number of youth programs around that area, and of course their ties with DSA have made for some very talented young athletes, and we've seen the power and the speed that they possess.
2 very strong programs indeed. Just look at the Blitz. 2 senior teams as well.
So it won't be long now before we get to kickoff. Again, you can get in touch with us via that hashtag BritBowl32. This half, as the Titans deferred, they will be receiving here. So the Blitz will be kicking off with the Titans looking to get this ball moving. I think it's fair to say they need to get it moving first. As James said at half-time, most of their yardage on offense has really come from penalties on the Blitz defense, pass interferences, and oddly illegal formation calls for too many players on the field.
The potential is there, though. If they can connect on one of those quick slants, those deep balls, receiver's gone to the house.
Yeah, we'll see if they've made some adjustments. I'd like to think they have. At 11 points down at half-time, they are by no means out of this game. So it looks like Blitz 32. Joseph Hurley will be the man kicking off this half. Titans.
Interesting formation to start off in.
Yeah, very much so. Tom Morgan, the man for the Titans, looking to return. We've seen this little short kick, and it looks like he's going to put a high short kick again. And Titans will actually be fair catching, not something you see very often on a kickoff. But he brought it in, and they will be marked on around about their own 26-yard line to start this half. So we'll see what they can do. So it'll be 1st and 10 for these Titans.
Trips left.
See if they've spotted anything. They've run a pass play out of this formation and that counter run play that we saw earlier. Looks like Miles is just having a word with his running back. He's obviously seen something there to suggest that the blitz is coming. Actually, it's not Miles in there. It's that man Tom Jones that's seen something. It's round the edge, and he's picked up a decent chunk of yardage to get the Titans going on that on the first play of the half. And
a bit of wildcat in junior football.
Very much so. And that was Tom Jones, the runner there. Tom Jones, another GB player, and 2017 under-17s grad, so his first year at junior football, and showing that that experience at youth comes into play.
Miles is on the sideline. Wonder if there's been an injury, or they just fancy a bit of extra speed.
Well, this speed, well wrapped up that time by Hurley, and a big hit. Hurley, I seem to recall a name I've heard before. Perhaps he was a double coverage all-star, as it were, junior last year. A big, strong player. And that is some SmackDown versus Raw right there. That was solid wrestling moves, and it'll bring up second in around about 10 yards still. Blitz, and there was some hesitation there as Blitz came flying through, and it's going to be a tackle for a loss.
Attempted speed option there. Not much coming up from it at all.
Very much so. There was a lot of hesitation there on that play. It's going to bring up around about 3rd and 15 for these Titans. So a good first play, but really just going backwards since then.
See, if I was Manchester, I'd look to exploit the space to the right of the field.
Yeah, if you can break
just
a tackle.
One key block.
Absolutely nowhere. Stuffed by the Blitz defense. And Manchester Titans will be faced with around about a 4th and 19 yards to go.
The fumble bug has come out again in the second half, seems.
See what happens. We'll see if we can pick the full. And actually, to be fair, it perhaps should have been an offside call that it wasn't given. And as you rightly say, no sign of Miles so far. Actually, that is a turnover on downs. So that will bring up a second and around about 5-yard line. 5, should I say?
Good pad level there, nice and low.
Strong running. So far, that's all they've done is run strong. As long as they can get the ball to hand. So it's 2nd and 5 as they hand off to that man that's caused so much trouble. They are going to give him the first down, I would think. Just
good
wait
tackle
for the
there
call.
by Ben Neal.
You see there. Hand to the face, but it's just enough to get that ball over the first down marker, and actually that turnover was a fumble recovery. So well picked up by the Blitz there. So it'll be 1st and 10 again for the Blitz. Just going to keep driving this football down. The clock will keep ticking, of course. We are only in the 3rd quarter. Manchester by no means out. They really need to step up here on defence. And another handoff for the Blitz. They're just going to keep running this ball, and it looks like they're going to give him another 4 or 5 yards. And, perhaps the Titans' injury. Yep, they are flagging over the medics. So it's going to be a 2nd and 5 when we come back here. Manchester obviously looking to have a strong start there as they came out. Not looking to pass. Slight concerns that we've not seen Ben Miles, perhaps an injury, but whilst we have got this injury timeout, we will take the time to thank EP Sports and thank them for bringing this stream to you. It looks like he has managed to get off in his own self-esteem. That's always good to see. Under his own self-esteem, you're grinning like a
under his own steam.
Yeah, well, that's I don't know. You're grinning like a Cheshire cat. I'm trying to read information in, and we've got another strong run, and he's going to stay on his feet there. I think he's going to come up short around about 3rd and 1, but we'll see if they mark him differently. It does look at it like it is going to be that 3rd and 1, and some solid running there from the running back. Didn't quite pick up the 1st down, but just keeps those legs driving. I suspect they'll be looking to run this again. Don't fix what ain't broke. Crapshire looking to hand off, and he has got a man to the seam. And I'm not quite sure where they're going to mark it.
It's a 1st.
You're correct, they have given him that 1st down. A short game, but enough to pick it up. And that looks like, oh, it's a solid high tackle there by Titans' Ben Neal, and then we've mentioned once or twice already. Blitz, I would anticipate another run play, and he's found a nice seam, but that looks like Neal again on the tackle actually. Found a nice seam, and he'll pick up a few yards there as well.
Met by a sea of blue.
And actually Manchester Titans defensive line, good initial push with Groom and Neal, the men, to get to the ball carrier first. Just see that at the corner of your screen. Blitz player launching the Titans to the ground. It's going to bring up around about 2nd and 7 on this play. Another powerful running back there for the Blitz. Looked like number 32, Joseph Hurley again, a name we've mentioned a couple of times on defense.
One thing that is very clear when looking at the Blitz team, how athletic they all appear.
Yeah, there isn't a single player out there that you would go, you don't fit what we're looking for, but they are, as you say, incredibly athletic, incredibly powerful. But when you're training 3 times a week with DSA, it clearly pays off, and it's Hurley again by the looks of it, and he's broken a tackle, and it looks like they're going to give him the 1st down, as he leaves, quite frankly, a trail of blue in his wake. You just see it here. He looks like he's actually, well, not going very far, but not enough. In the
backfield.
Yeah, not enough to bring him down. 1, 2, 3 Titans. Even Groom.
Strong running. Yeah,
Groom eventually gets around his legs to bring him down, but that's what you want to see from a running back. Just keep those legs driving, and it's going to bring up a 1st and goal for the Blitz. And it's going to be short. I thought he was going to get there, but well wrapped up by the Titans. It's going to be a 2nd and goal here. And a nice initial hole opens up. In fact, it looks like that man Groom again that makes that tackle. 2nd and goal. We'll see if the Blitz can punch this in, or whether the Titans can hold strong. Again, that quarterback Croucher having a quick look around to see what's on. Here's another run, and that elusive running back, I think, is actually going to come up short. See what they mark here. Yeah, 3rd and 1 by the looks of it. 1 yard to the goal line. Again, Blitz may be struggling a little bit actually when they get inside the 20. Just tries to stretch out there but doesn't quite get it. Groom again, we've seen him so many times, that linebacker. Great read of the game.
Let's see if they can power it in now.
And it's Hurley, that big man again, and he's going to be well short, and a good defensive play, and it's going to bring up a 4th and goal around about 5 yards out. I would anticipate that the Blitz will go for it. Great penetration here by the Titans.
Nowhere to go, nowhere to go.
And that is good team defense to bring down such a solid running back. And it looks like quarterback is running back over, Croucher's running back in. It's going to be 5 yards out. So far the Titans have done a great job on this goal line play. And it looks like this time they are going to go in for the score. Doesn't appear to be any flags on the play, so that will be another 6 points for these Blitz. 24 London Blitz, Manchester 7. Great initial defensive play from the Titans on the 3 goal line defenses, pushing it back 5 yards, but Blitz just winning the battle on the 4th down attempt.
It's just attrition though. If you have 4 players on the goal line, you'd hope at least one of them would find its way over for pay dirt.
So it looks like the Blitz will line up for 2 again. And it's Hurley that's carrying that football, but he's not going to get in. And that will be another 2-point attempt that doesn't get completed for the Blitz. That may well come back to haunt them yet. We don't know.
Feels like the Blitz are only calling 2 or 3 plays at the most.
Well, when it's working for you, I think they've possibly got an inside run and an outside run, and that's about it from the running game. But 24 points here. So their offense clearly working well. 4 touchdowns for them. And the Titans' only touchdown coming from a punt blocked return. Or a blocked punt return, should I say. So again, that lofted kick to the sideline. Titans are going to cover it. His knee does go down though. But with it being such a lofted kick though, it's going to be good field position for the Titans. It's that man Hurley again who was kicking off. Titans are going to have to find something new, I fear, to try and get something going against this Blitz team.
Ben Miles still not out. Got to assume it's an injury.
Tom Jones lining up at the quarterback position. We saw that wildcat style play, or what we thought was a wildcat style play. It is going to be a handoff of the middle with virtually nowhere to go. Maybe picking up a yard there. It's going to be 2nd and 9 for the Titans. Really need to find something, and it is another run play, and it's going to be that Tom Jones is actually in the open field. He's got a nice pickup.
Very powerful run by Jones there.
Yeah, read option play. Actually, I thought the Blitz were going to be called offside. Very, very aggressive. Wasn't picked up, but clearly Jones saw where the pressure was coming from. Faked the handoff and took it around the edge. Just see it here.
Bit of confusion on the field now.
And Jones around the edge with Titans lining up in that 3 receiver set to the left. And again, Jones looking to run, and that time it's going to be a loss. And actually, Jones looks a little uncomfortable getting up, but he is up. Going to bring up a 2nd and 11 yards. Actually, I think they've managed to call him back to the line of scrimmage, so it'll be 2nd and 10 on the play. And that is going to be false start penalty. Both players in the backfield. Just a little bit of hesitation.
Prior to the snap, false start. Offense, it's 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
And that's going to be a 2nd and 15 for the Titans, and it's not going to want not what they were looking for, that's for sure.
Cries of a neutral zone infraction from a stand.
Well, Blitz do seem to be very, very aggressive, but yet to go, and that is another miscommunication, I would hazard a guess, as the Blitz comes straight through for another tackle for the loss. Mark him about a yard back. Bring up 3rd and long for these Titans. And Jones, it appears, was looking to run again, but nowhere to go. And it's going to be a 4th down. So I think fair to say Titans will be getting fairly worried at this stage that they can't get the ball moving against the Blitz. No sign of Ben Miles so far this half. And we have just seen some interesting play by the offense. But nothing really. I don't know what you're giggling at. You're grinning like a Cheshire cat, you really are.
At all. Just some interesting field fashion.
And it's a decent punt. I think it's going to stop short actually of the goal line. It's going to be
Inside
marked.
the 5, beautiful.
Yeah. I think they'll probably mark it down on the 5 rather than the 4, but a great punt by the Titans there.
See, the question is, at what point do you stop running the ball if you're Manchester and start thinking about the clock?
I don't know how deep their quarterback goes.
That's the end of the 3rd quarter, end of 3rd quarter.
And as you've just said, thinking about the clock, you have just heard the official say that is the end of the 3rd quarter, so that one really flying through. So your start of the 4th quarter, end of the 3rd. London Blitz 24, Manchester Titans 7. So really rocketing through on that clock. I don't recall a junior game ever going as fast as this.
I feel like when you're down on the field, though, it'll just last a lot longer. Caught up in the moment.
Perhaps, but it just seemed to be flying by.
I do wonder why there are shorter quarters for junior football.
Well, I think, to be fair, most of Europe play with a 12-minute clock at senior level, where our seniors play with a 15-minute clock. And I believe our juniors play with a 12-minute clock, although I'm sure we're playing on a 5-minute clock today. I don't think anybody really knows anymore. So, Blitz not starting in great field position after that punt, starting on around about their own 5-yard line.
See if the Titans defense can conjure up a score.
You certainly need something because the offense isn't doing anything, but a great defensive play that time to wrap up the running back. Much better effort by the Titans defense, and to be fair, credit where it's due, the defense has been very, very good for the Titans. 24/7, bearing in mind one of those was a big break-in play or a big broken play for those Blitz. Titans defense really what's keeping them in the game, as it brings up a 2nd and 10 for the Blitz offense. Blitz, we haven't really seen, well, I don't think we have seen the change in formation, and it is another run play and well wrapped up, just managing to catch a leg, and it was that man Groom again for the Manchester Titans, bringing him down. Nathan Groom there with the tackle.
Like we said earlier, no need to change formation. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
And that's going to bring up around about a 3rd and 8 this time for the Blitz, who I'm sure at this point will be licking their lips and thinking we've got this in the bag. But still a full quarter yet to play.
Terrifying prospect is the idea that this probably hasn't been the Blitz's best game with the number of fumbles today.
Yeah, I would hazard a guess that you're probably right, but nor, I think it's fair to say, will it have been the Titans' best game. And it is
The quarterback in the backfield.
Not quite sure if that was an intended run there, but it will bring up a 4th down. I think they're going to mark him down as getting to the line of scrummage there. He seemed a little bit confused, that's for sure.
He made the most of a bad situation right there.
At least
Credit
he got
to the quarterback.
Yeah, got back to the line of scrummage, so you can't fault him for that one. So it looks like they're going to punt away here, as expected. Titans, even though they've got them pinned right back, still electing to not put a returner in. And I think that is going to go out of bounds around about the Blitz 45-yard line. So good field position again for the Titans. Great effort by their defense to get that ball turned back over. And it looks like that is number 8 stepping out, Ben Miles. So we'll see if they're going to look to pass.
They must do at this point,
I think you have to. The running game has been non-effective, bar the couple of nice kind of wildcat read option plays that they've used with Tom Jones, but we will see what happens. Miles just directing his running backs to where he needs them. Blitz, I think, has sensed that it is likely to be a pass here. Yeah. I'd anticipate a lot of pressure coming here, and rightly so, but Miles has found a nice seam. We'll see if he can go forward, run upfield. He has got the 1st down. Not quite sure why he curved back in there. He had a seam up the middle. It's a nice play, nice read by Ben Miles to see where the pressure was coming from. Rolled out.
Good bit of mobility right there.
Just picking up that 1st down, so we'll see what they can do. And that's the negative. You put pressure and then it's another run play actually.
Momentum swing.
Yeah, decent little gain there. I think they're going to mark him fairly generously with a 2 and about 8-yard pickup. So it's going to be a 2 and 2, 2nd and 2, 2nd and 3. Miles, that toss play again, looking for Jones, who's quick, but he's not that quick, and wrapped up by those Blitz players for around about a 4-yard loss. And I think they're going to mark him harsher than that. They're going to mark him all the way back for a 3rd and 10. From our angle, it only looked like he'd lost about 4 yards, but there you go, Miles again. I would
the isolated receiver,
and he has, and his deep ball, and well, certainly short, and that's a late flag. It will be pass interference. I would argue that wasn't really pass interference, but it was a short throw. Receiver, I don't really think was going to get there as it drops. No. Well, maybe.
Replay, it looks a lot closer.
Yeah, very much so. I think he's got a good angle for him, but that was, as far as I'm concerned, that was good play by the defensive back. I would argue it wasn't.
Pass interference. Defense number 82. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot.
Once again,
automatic 1st down.
The Titans getting helped out by a pass interference call.
Yeah, very much so. Miles will be looking to pass it. His 1st and goal.
Change to press rather than knee off.
And Miles is looking deep, and it's going to be dropped by the receiver. Now, if you were going to call out of either call on that defensive back there, that would have been the one I'd have called pass interference on. But
same with me.
But it was dropped, and they've not called it. A high snap that time, and that's gone very badly. I think Titans may have recovered it, but they won't be happy with that play. It's going to bring up a 3rd and goal. Not what you want in that situation, that's for sure. And around about 16, 17 yards for them to go.
That blitz front causing problems all day.
See what they're calling here. I think it's going to be timeout.
Timeout.
For Manchester.
London. First charge timeout. 5 minutes 28.
A London timeout. 5 minutes, just over 5 minutes left of the quarter. So London clearly thinking that there's going to be something going on here. 16 yards out for the Titans to try and get a score. They really need to score here. Otherwise, I think it's fair to say that it's going to be game over.
Trophy's going back to London. You never know. Don't rule out anything.
Titans defense has played very, very well despite the scoreline. Blitz have played fantastic football all round, if you don't include their handling errors. But at the moment, as it stands, as you say, the plate, well, it's not a plate, is it? It's an actual trophy. An actual trophy. We'll be heading down to London if Manchester can't dig deep and find something. See what Miles and the Titans can muster here. Miles looking to pass, he's got a man open and he's going to be wrapped up short. It's going to bring up a 4th down.
Good vision by Miles to see the corner dropping off into off coverage.
It was a decent little pickup. Miles again lining up with that 2 running back set and pressure coming. High ball up. Now he's not going to flag that one, which makes me it does make me wonder what people say. But on that note, it is a turnover on downs and will be a London Blitz ball.
See, I'd like to see the replay of this and see if there was any shout of a PI here. See, for me, that's more PI than most of the earlier calls.
Yeah, very much so. Although I think, to be fair, from a defensive standpoint, certainly playing defensive back, that's just great coverage.
Well, if you don't get called for it, brilliant.
The best coverage is the closest thing to pass interference without being called for it. Oh, and a monster hit actually after the whistle. So, although I'm not quite sure what the whistle was for, I
think it was an illegal substitution.
That's happened a number of times today. Oh, a thunderous hit. See what the officials call here. It's a long discussion. I'm not quite sure what they're thinking.
Timeout, London. Then after you call the timeout, we have unsportsmanlike conduct. Coach, London Blitz. That's half the distance to goal. 2nd down.
That's an interesting flag there. It's going to bring up a 1st and 15.
Coach Henry continuing to talk to the official here.
Unfortunately, it's not likely that he is going to get that overturned. Some interesting stats. The Blitz running backs have, well, done a sensational job. That man we've named so many times today, running for 170 yards and 2 touchdowns. Number 9, Dolbeye. And as you rightly say, Coach Henry's still trying to get that decision overturned, I think, but really not going to happen. Once they have made a call, they will stand by it. rightly or wrongly. And arms in the air. So the Blitz, no doubt, will be looking to run this clock down as a cheer goes up from the crowd. I mean, fair play to him. He's having a bit of some jeers from the crowd, but
he's a fierce competitor.
Yeah,
and he cares about this game and his team.
Very much so. And the Blitz are looking to run it, and he's going to be marked down for a loss. But how much of a loss, I'm not quite sure. They'll bring up
down on the one yard line.
I think they're going to mark him on the 2, so it's going to be third and about 19 yards. Good tackle there from the Titans, number 30, Ryan Weaver. And man, we've named a couple of times as well. Titans defense certainly picking things up this half, only allowing 1 score since the half-time break. Blitz with the shadow of the goalposts at their backs, looking to get out of there. A nice pick-up, but as you rightly say, there is a flag in that far corner. See what that's on.
Not the situation where you want holding to be pushed right back onto the goal line.
See if we can spot anything here. Nothing noticeable. It does go in that section where that receiver was, so not quite sure, but
maybe an offside.
See what the officials call here. Full credit to that Titans defense.
Let's do 4th down.
So the flag has been waved off by the looks of it, and bring up 4th down. And it looks like the Blitz are going to bring on their punt team. It's going to be about 4th and 10, and the Titans still not electing to put anybody back to return here. See if they can force another punt block.
Nice snap.
He has managed to get it away. It's going to drop out of bounds. I suspect they'll mark him around about the 40-yard line. No, they think they've marked him
35.
Yeah. Good field position again for the Titans. So the Titans defense really have stepped up to the plate, but the offense yet to step up to the mark, put some of these points on the board.
It's not a fault of the Titans offense, it's just stellar defense by that Blitz front.
Yeah, very much so. The pressure has been incredible. Everyone that's stepped in at quarterback for the Titans, I think, has felt it in some form or another. See what Miles can do here. Looking to pass, he's going for that deep ball again, and it's going to be another short ball. Looking for that man, Gracie Aincoff.
Just looks like a lack of strength pushing the ball down the field.
Miles, he knew, I think, exactly where he was going to put that football the moment that he'd received that snap. And again, just short of the mark. Blitz not playing with his safety, perhaps bring that man in, and oh, it's another fumble, and it's going to be a turnover for the Blitz.
We must be near double-digit fumbles today.
I would hazard, I guess we won't be far off that, and that will be a crying shame for the Titans as the clock is ticked down. Blitz, no doubt, will be looking to run this game out now. So the 1st and 10 for the Blitz. Is another run play, but Titans very quick to stuff that up this time. They've been doing that all of this half. The Blitz running game really reduced down to nothing. And it's going to be a 2-yard gain there. We may have given him 3 yards. It'll be a 2nd and 7 for the Blitz offense. And it was running back Jason Soto, a man we named earlier in the first half for his blocking, good blocking that he had. No doubt we'll see them try and run again here. We haven't really seen much passing at all when Crouch has been in. We've only seen one attempt, and it's another fumble. And a Titans recovery this time. So the ball will be back over. I don't think I've seen a game with this many fumbles in it. I'm just saying that was just running back just not getting the ball into position. Bobbles out, Titans quick on it. And that will be a Titans 1st and 10 with an injury on the field at the moment. Hopefully he's okay.
Here's a question for you. You're a coach and your team is constantly fumbling the ball. How would you make an in-game adjustment to try and prevent that?
Super glue.
Super glue.
Super glue.
Forget the rule book.
It's hard to make an in-game adjustment. The thing is, you've not got. There's no rain. We've walked the grass this morning. We walked the field. It was dry.
Maybe some gloves from EP Sports.
Very much so. And on that note, and in this injury timeout, you see it on your screens there. Our thanks to EP Sports for helping make today's stream possible. As the UK's premier supplier of equipment and accessories, they are the first stop for all players from all over Europe. Check them out at www.epsports.co.uk. I think I may have put too many W's in there. It is only 3. I think that's normal. And of course, as we draw to an end of this game, we'd like to thank BAFA, the British American Football Association, for putting all of the finals on. So a big thank you to them, and a great opportunity for ourselves here at Onside to live stream them for you. So we have tomorrow's plate final, the junior plate final, which will be played between East Kilbride and Hertfordshire Cheetahs. And then we have the Brit Bowl finals in the not too near future. That's the wrong wording. It's getting to the end of the day.
In the not too distant future.
That's the one I'm looking for.
There we go.
That's why I brought you down here today. The Premiership is still yet to be decided, as is Division 1. Division 1 could be Newcastle Vikings, Leicester Falcons from the north. I'm not quite sure who's in the south. I've not done my reading on that.
Is
yeah, Division 1 South.
Kent Exiles and Solent, I believe.
That sounds. Kent Exiles, we think, but of course both London teams, London Blitz, London Warriors, and the Tamworth Phoenix and Manchester Titans will be having their semi-finals shortly to decide who is going into that game. And a deep ball, and well broken up by the Blitz defensive back. Great coverage. Yes, Manchester Titans, Tamworth Phoenix, and the 2 London teams will be playing that semi-final game to decide who goes to the big game, that Brit Bowl final. Titans coming in for 2nd and 10 here. Miles looking for that running back, and he's
that should be a fumble.
Well,
backwards pass.
They've not given it. Jones seemed to pull out of that one, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 10, a quick 3rd and 10 as well. Titans really yet to find anything on offense. See what they call here. I think at this stage, just put one up. Just put one up. They could do with bringing their receivers in field a little bit to help Miles, but that motion man coming across, and it's likely to be, I would think, a false start or an illegal motion.
Prior to the snap, false start. Offense number 69. It's a 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
So that will bring up 3rd and 15 for the Titans. A situation they have become far too familiar with throughout this game. 3rd and long. Miles looking deep this time, and I think it's Oh, good break up there by number 25 of the Blitz.
Interesting ball
McDowell.
placement there.
Yeah.
Not pushing down the field, just high and wide.
And not what Miles will have been intending, that's for sure. They're going to give him a chance to go here. 4th and 15. Another motion here. Pressure comes round that edge. Miles has got nowhere to go, and he is clobbered. And I think that sums up Titans' offensive day today, with the celebrations already starting to begin. Also worth noting that when we say all live streams of the finals being done, the Division 2 finals are also being done. In the north, that will be done by Vikings TV. I'm led to believe, and we ourselves are covering the southern final in Leicester for Division 2. So the first time in a long time that the Division 2 finals will have been streamed. As the Blitz look to run, and another fumble. I've never seen this many fumbles in the game.
In the national championship game as well.
Yeah, I know, and the Titans will get this ball back. It's we can hear from the stand people shouting, "No one wants it, no one wants it." It's been warm this afternoon, but I can't imagine that football's that hot. But no, if the Titans could get their offense moving, it would have really cost the Blitz, and he's looking deep, and that is going to be short.
Now just desperation throws.
Yeah, very much so. It'll be 2nd and 10 on this play. You just see it there on that replay. Miles, pre-snap read, knew he was going to. Isolated receiver, great coverage by McDowell. And that motion across and that reverse toss to, but
look at that. That is some impressive defense.
Yeah, look
the
at
pursuit angles of every single one of the Blitz box, straight there, shutting off, nowhere to go.
Yeah, very much so. Good defense. Tom Jones, the runner that time.
Sign of some very,
That's a
very
2-minute
good coaching
warning.
now.
1 minute 54 remaining in the game. 1:54.
You heard it there. 1:54 left in the game. I would dread to think how many fumbles we've actually had. I think the statistician possibly gave up counting the fumbles. He's only got 5 fingers on each hand. Or 4 and a thumb if you want to be technical. And Jones is that man running his steps one, but doesn't quite break the next line of defence. And it's going to be a 4th and 5 for the Titans.
Tell you what, Ben Miles, I like this. I love seeing a QB running downfield to give a block.
Ooh. Titans 5 yards to try and move this football. And again, they're just tossing that football out. He's got the first down, that's for sure. And there is a late flag coming on that play, so we'll just wait to see what that is. Looked like that was a long way with that carry.
Personal foul, grabbing the face mask. Defense number 2. That's a 15-yard penalty from the end of the play. Automatic first down.
And that will be yet another penalty flag on the Blitz defense. So that will stand the Titans within the Blitz 20-yard line on a run about the 18-yard line. As that motion man comes in, it's going to be a flag on the play, so we'll see what that is called on.
Delay of game, defence number 39. That's a 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
Yet another 5 yards for the defence there, so 20 yards in total.
Never seen a defensive player cause a delay of game.
I'm not quite sure what he was doing there to cause that delay. Whether it was an equipment violation, and it's a high snap, and he has made up for that 5 yards that he just gave up. It'll be interesting to see what they call there. I think you are correct, they have called it as a fumble, but a high snap. And the sack coming in from that man, Tunde Ganayi. It's a big hit as well.
Right in the soft spot as well.
And that will be yet another turnover from a fumble.
Tell you what, fair play to Ben Miles today. Hit in the pocket constantly and still managing to come up, lead his team. So the execution may not have been there today from Manchester, but they've definitely given up their all.
Well, I don't know if you can hear that over the atmospheric mics. A very long blast on an air horn there as the Blitz look to run this ball upfield. Again, Titans defense has really stepped up this half to shut the running game down, and the Blitz really been left with nowhere to go, although the Titans have left it a little too late, and that will be a 2nd and 5 for the Blitz.
Credit's got to go to the Manchester seniors as well, coming out in large numbers to support their junior team. Encouraging to see a programme supporting their youth as much as they do, and I'm certain we'll see Manchester here again in the not too distant future.
Yeah, certainly with the way their programme's laid out, I would hazard a guess it won't be long before we see Manchester become a perennial powerhouse in junior football, as well as the Blitz keeping that title. As he stepped 2 players there, just crosses back over the yard, the line of scrimmage, so it's going to be around about 3rd and 4. I think again they've marked him relatively generously. But a good strong run there.
There we go, and that's the ball game.
Yeah, those whistles. The London Blitz 24, Manchester Titans 7. The Blitz retaining their national championship from a year ago. Coach Jason Henry absolutely elated, as well as his players. You can see there bounding round him. A very, very happy man. We'll see if we can get a word with him after the game. I'm sure we might be able to try and sort something out. We would like to thank you for joining us for this game. We will very shortly be heading down to the sideline, but you will join us just after this. Sorry, some slight issues there. We thought we were going down to the sideline, but well, you can hear it there. It's coming home. It's coming home. We haven't heard that from the since the World Cup not too long ago. But, fair play to them. I'd love to know the stat for fumbles, but
too many. That can be the stat. Yeah. That can be the stat of the day. Too many.
Yeah, absolutely.
But that aside, fair play to the Blitz.
I mean, I think it says a lot about their reaction with how much it means to some of these guys, particularly those guys that will have been in this team last year, coming back for the repeat. Some of these guys will have won that twice now as well. Manchester, full credit for the season that they've had. They've done a wonderful, wonderful job throughout the year. Just couldn't get that offense working. The defense really stepping up in the second half. the Blitz really going nowhere. They had one score in the second half. All the points other than that put up. Very, very happy Blitz players.
Finals are always bittersweet. You have the one side that are senior players playing their final game, winning a national championship, and then the other side of the coin, your final game being a loss.
And I think credit where it's due for all of these players who've had a great game today. See our cameraman Sean with his new bit of equipment, that shoulder cam. That's the one the players keep pointing at. It's amazing what happens when you give these young guys a camera to look into. I know you're the same.
Of course.
Given the chance. Given
Sports
the chance.
for profile pictures and nothing else.
Give us a summary of today's game then.
Started out, there was a chance of it being a blowout. The Titans defense in particular came back into the game, that incredible pump block. But at the end of the day, that Blitz running game won it.
Yeah, the early running game from the Blitz did wonders for them. I did think that the Manchester Titans might have managed to make some offensive adjustments to get the ball moving, but couldn't quite pull it off. You might hear over the atmospheric mics all these horns going off, and
fair play to the Manchester Titans as a whole programme. These boys have worked so hard over the past few years to get here, and that deserves a lot of credit in its own right.
Yeah, great job by them all round. In a moment you will see them do the trophy presentation just up here on the balcony. So again, thank you for EP Sports for providing what they have done to put these streams on. Thank you to BAFTA for allowing us to put these streams on. And we will be heading down to the sideline to join James Ramsey.
And yeah, it's been a fantastic day here in Leeds. It's the Manchester Titans who will be unfortunately walking away the runners-up today, but the London Blitz have been fantastic today. Every phase of their game was essential and just on par with, I think, some adult teams even. They were just amazing today. And you can see possibly yeah, there you go. You can see the Manchester Titans picking up their runners-up medals. And these boys put a lot of heart into today. It's just possibly maybe through injury or through failing execution, they just weren't able to really get their grasps on the game entirely. It's a shame, but I think they gave it everything they could, and they've done themselves proud, I think. What do you think, George? Do you think it's been a competitive game all round, or?
I think certainly the defence stepped up to the mark for Manchester during that second half. I think, as Tom Henley rightly said, it did look like it was going to be an early blowout with the Blitz. But no, I think it's an interesting scoreline. I'd be intrigued to see what would have happened if those fumbles hadn't happened. The amount was incredible.
We can see there the Manchester Titans helping other injured players across to collect their winners' medals. It's really nice to see, because this is what it's all about for these boys. It's about the family that create whilst playing. Whilst it didn't go their way today, I think they can all be quite proud to receive the runners-up medals, because they're the only team, apart from obviously the winners, that will get anything really from the season championship-wise. So yeah. I think it's good for the Manchester Titans to still be up there and collect their medals.
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting dynamic at junior level. The camaraderie, I would argue, is actually more so at this junior level than it is with senior teams. Some of these guys, they go to school together, they've grown up together, and it really makes for I don't know, it's just an interesting dynamic, and you can see some of these guys, despite the loss, they'll be very proud of the season that we've had.
Well, I think the Manchester Titans, that we've discussed their system, and a lot of these boys could have come up through the lower levels together, up to this level to play together, and they'll be thrilled, I think, just to have the chance to be on the stage. But you can see here the London Blitz, the rightful winners in my eyes. Obviously, I predicted them to win. I did predict more points, but I think maybe if I minus the fumbles, maybe I could have been right on that. But it was an impressive game, apart from a few bricky hands. But I mean, I feel like the London Blitz do deserve it overall.
Yeah, certainly the first half performance of the Blitz certainly deserves it. If that Blitz team had carried on like they had, it could have been 40 plus, possibly even touching a burger. But the Titans defense made some adjustments. The London Blitz defense, incredible. They didn't allow a point. Those 7 points you see on the bottom of your screen coming from a blocked punt and returned by the Titans. So great effort from the defense, really giving the Titans offense absolutely nowhere to go. Nothing. Miles spent half the day going backwards, as did the running backs.
Well, there was a series towards the end there, maybe third or fourth, just before the end, where they only went backwards. There was no forward progress at all, and every tackle was met by the London Blitz with 3 or 4 men, which in a game where there's only 9 players is very impressive teamwork to be able to get to the breakdown and make sure there is no forward progress whatsoever. Yeah,
they play with a very, very aggressive style defense, and as I spoke to Coach Henry off camera, but it does appear to be a defense that's more suited to teams that can't maintain a drive. Although watching Titans in the past, they are a team that can do that. They have, when you've got that much pace, that much power coming at you, there isn't a lot you can do about it.
I think something that maybe let down the Manchester Titans today is they ran the same play twice in a row sometimes, maybe even 3 times in a row when they were going for that post out to the side. And you can become a little bit predictable, do you not think?
Yeah, very much so. But then at the same time, you know exactly what that defense is going to do. And at times you saw those plays, or the first play work really well, and they've gone, oh, that works, we'll run it again. Some offensive coordinators work like that, some don't.
I think the Blitz are going to be thrilled, really. I think obviously we came in expecting a close game, and to an extent it was. Obviously the scoreline maybe doesn't reflect that quite as well, but it does feel like the London Blitz gave it everything they could, as did the Manchester Titans, and you can see that the boys are extremely happy.
Yeah, very much so. And I would hazard a guess that they are likely to be a team that comes back here next year. They haven't done anything over the last few years. It was only by chance they lost the plate game 3 years ago. It's only by that loss that they've not been here consecutively for a long, long time, in 4, 5, 6 years in a row. They are a phenomenal outfit, both junior and senior level. That man walking up the stairs has done a great job with the junior program. The links with DSA quite clearly showing that they can make a huge difference.
I think obviously you saw how passionate he is about the game. He was having quite a long conversation with the refs at one point, but it's only because of that passion, as you say. He's putting so much into the team, and they're getting so much back from it.
Yeah, and full credit to him, and he'll be happy to put another trophy on his trophy cabinet, I will doubt. No doubt, Ross Stewart there giving the MVP trophy out to a running back that plays another great game. They are producing a wonderful crop of running backs over the last few years. He's run for 170 yards plus 2 touchdowns, and full credit to him. He really did make some great plays.
Got to have the ball as well. The MVP trophy.
Hey, we'll see if he fumbles it. Hey.
That kind of is the story of the game, unfortunately, today.
Very much so. There you go. You put a camera in front of these guys, and they've played to it very much so, and I'm sure.
There you go. There's the actual trophy. Beautiful reactions. Yeah. And I have to say, I have been on that stage. I came second when Trent lost in the finals against Swansea, and standing up there and having to watch the team celebrate, it really drives you. So I think we'll see the Manchester Titans coming back even stronger next year. Yeah,
the Titans are in a great situation at the moment. The Northern challengers really for them are the East Kilbride Pirates. They're another great setup, a great youth team below them. In fact, I think they've got 2, 3, possibly even 4 youth teams. So they've got some great players coming through. The Manchester Titans and East Kilbride have been really the prominent powerhouses in junior football for the North. And I would anticipate, again, it could well be an East Kilbride Manchester Titans semi-final next year to decide who comes to the plate and who comes to the Brit Bowl final.
Well, they're both very strong outfits, and you can see here that London Blitz players are not going to stop celebrating for a long time. I hope you can hear the dog. It brings me back to my playing days. There we go. Oh, it's so beautiful. But I think something that you guys highlighted them up in the booth there is that the Manchester Titans brought a strong following with them today. And it was really nice to see that many people travel down with the youth team and support their team.
Yeah, very much so. And I hope that's something that we see more across Britball. I'm just scanning around now, looking at the crowd. I hope it's something we see more in Britball, not just at finals games, but at general, day-to-day games, Sunday games, regular season games. Because I think it makes for a great atmosphere, not just for the home team, although technically as a neutral venue today, I would argue with the turnout from the Titans fans, it was very much their home game, but I think it just makes for a great atmosphere all round, whether you're home or away.
Well, I think it gets the crowd buzzing, it gets the players buzzing. Even if you're a London Blitz player, to know there are people watching you, it gives you that little bit of, I like the word gumption for this. I like this sense of like, yeah.
Have you been reading that that word of the day calendar?
Dictionaries out. No, I really do feel like it makes the players feel like they're on a stage.
Yeah.
And that, I think, improves not only quality, but their enjoyment of the day.
Yeah, I think you're right, it does improve their enjoyment, but I think when you've got people watching you, there's that drive to not fail, to improve, do what you can to get things going and do what you can. You know, Titans, despite the loss, they've had some real standout players. The Blitz were standout across the board. They were just another level today, a level that I don't think the Titans were expecting. But at this level,
he's just going to run away with it, I think.
I'm not sure if he's just dropped the trophy or he's dropped his medal or something. Another fumble anyway. But I think at this level, when you're on a national final stage, you have to expect that your opponents are going to come with a ferocity that you've never seen before and that you can't truly prepare for.
And I think that has shown today. Obviously, we talk about not being able to prepare for it. The real thing the Manchester Titans lacked today was discipline.
Yeah,
those handoffs and there was a confusion moment earlier where he tried to hand it off both sides and it just didn't happen. I'm not sure what's happening. Water's being thrown.
Water bottles.
See, we've not seen the keg go over the coach yet. So
to be fair to Coach Henry, he's stuffed full of coal, and it would be
they don't know.
It would be a brave man, I think, that would drench him. He stands at a very, very well, he's a very powerful looking man, and I don't think I'd want to be pouring water over him when he's stuffed full of coal.
I think both the teams can be happy with what they came away with. So obviously Manchester's going to be slightly disappointed, and I think the real thing to come away with today is how well the sport's doing. We're watching non-adult teams put on an amazing performance for people not only in the ground but you guys at home watching the Onside stream.
Yeah, obviously we did the youth finals not too long ago. Some great football, some fantastic athletic one-handed catches as well that I seem to recall coming across in that stream. And you know, what a great display for youth and junior football with the plate final to come tomorrow.
And there's so much more on the way. We've got the plate final, we've got Brit Bowl itself, we have the D1 final, we have the Birmingham Lions games coming up soon. So it's a lot of American football for fans in the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, that will be absolutely fantastic, I think, for the sport. And as you know, as we say, the Division 2 final as well being streamed this time. Last year, only the Premiership and the Division 1 finals were covered. With that Division 2 final, it really opens up just more football for people at home, I think. And what a great time for British football.
Well, that's what everyone wants, isn't it? You guys want to see more football. We want to see more football, and this is the place to do it. Come to Onside, and I think today we've seen some amazing football. We have seen moments, especially by the MVP of today, breaking tackles like no other. His first touchdown was so impressive. It was a get off me moment with that hand to the face. It was a beautiful play. And hopefully we can relive it at some point, just watching the VOD afterwards, but sweet play.
Very, very much so. But when you're coming from a team that has sent so many guys to America, I think the DSA, and not just American football, I should add, but the DSA, I think, have sent around about 25 guys into US states, so they know what they're doing. But the Titans, as we say, certainly in the second half, the defense stepped up. So.
No, I think both defences showed why they are here, and both offences showed why they are here. It's just that Manchester Titans suffered a little bit more. And we can see the coach there for London breaking it all down to them. I'm not sure it'll hit them quite yet that they've won. I think obviously you get the initial celebrations, but it's only, I think, once you're back on the coach back home that you really get to live it with your friends and your pals and I'm sure the coach will be getting more than enough praise for what he's done today.
And I think that that shot there was really a lifetime image, a brotherhood. Great camaraderie, a team coming together to do what they've done this year as well as last year, and it shows what teamwork can do for you, and what strong passion from your coaches can do for you. And the first thing they did when they won, they all ran to Coach Henry, and he's a big part of some of those young men's lives, and they've really done a fantastic job working with him.
And I think it's important to say that I don't think by the looks of it any of these lads are going to say, oh yeah, I won this for us. I think whilst they know that someone has to be given the MVP, they know that every part of this unit is why they won. The D-line, the O-line, the quarterback, they all play little pieces to make the big thing work.
Yeah, and the offensive line, we've not said a lot about actually, but a very, very big unit for the Blitz, very talented unit for the Blitz. In fact, I think they may have even had an injury to one of their starters before the game. So a fairly deep unit in terms of players as well, and a great game for them as well. And I think the running backs stats showed that for them.
Well, that's one of the things we talked about before the start of the game, was that they have deep squads. They can afford to do those rotations, and thankfully, at a position like O-line, which is so crucial in a normal game, you reduce them to 3, they become even more crucial. And having those additional numbers does make it a much more well-rounded team.
Very much so. Very much so. It's going to be an exciting time for these young guys moving forward. A lot of these I hope to see playing for the Blitz seniors coming up. Have you got anything else you'd like to add before we wrap up?
Just want to say thank you to all of our sponsors today. Thank you to BAFA, and thank you to you, George, and the teams here today for putting on such a great display.
Yeah, of course, we've got a big team here today as well. So thanks to all of those guys here at Onside Productions. And with that, from myself and James, we wish you a good evening.
Goodbye.